Hey y'all, it's Kiera and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, as always, thank you so much for tuning in to me. Be sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you aren't already subscribed to the channel, y'all. So I've been sharing the videos that I have documented so far. I have a lot of content that I'm not quite ready to talk about or upload yet. However, I will say that I've gotten a lot of requests like from TikTok and stuff like that, because I get a lot of questions like, did you tell anybody? Did anybody know? Blase, blase, blase. And legit, I only told 2 people. So if at any point in this video I don't want to talk about it, or it becomes very heavy to where I can't talk about it, I'm just gonna be like, I can't, and we're gonna move past it, okay? Because again, I'm still navigating through this journey. So I had got this comment on TikTok the other day where this lady was like, you know, you should share your story because it's going to free somebody. And while I'm not at a place to share my story, I am willing to share the pieces that I feel like could help somebody else who might be in the situation right now. Because I don't necessarily feel like my story is going to really truly do anything for anybody, because it's just me telling what happened. But maybe telling the steps of how I got out of it may, you know, free somebody else. So in my relationship, when he first started putting his hands on me, I was roommates with my best friend from high school, and she knew about it. However, as time progressed, our friendship kind of diminished. He would say little things here and there pertaining to our friendship, and I would be like, you always want to talk about what somebody else is doing, but yet you do the same stuff. Like, he would tell me like, you know, your friends aren't really your friends, they're using you. And no, he never tried to like keep me from my friends, but like, I feel like he manipulated me in ways to make me feel like my friends and family didn't care about me in certain ways. And so I kind of like backed away from them, or like I just started going into a deep depression, and things just kind of happened that way. She was the only person who knew, but her boyfriend at the time was also abusing her. So honestly, we were just 2 young college students who let these young boys come into our place and put their hands on us when they wasn't paying nothing there. Like, we never should have been doing that. And anyway, so I never really like told anybody. Like, once me and her like broke it off and weren't friends anymore, or weren't on speaking terms anymore, like, I didn't really share anything. Like, she's the only person that I would even trust with information like that. And I didn't tell, I would say like, I minimized a lot of it because of just like my own trauma and stuff that I dealt with. Like, sorry y'all. So I minimized a lot of it because I feel like growing up, I went through a huge amount of trauma and pain, and I was neglected in ways, emotionally especially, and I like kind of learned how to just like deal with it. And so I think like a lot of times in my marriage, I didn't always see it as big as it was until I got out of it. One day we got into this really big fight, and this when he told me like, I don't want to talk about it. He told me he didn't care about going to jail. He told me, like, he started breaking my items, like trying to break my phone. He broke my camera. He trashed the place. He had just became like law enforcement. And that day was really scary, because I just feel like when he went into these rages, it was like, you don't know what's going to happen. I remember being like wanting to leave, and he used to always like hold me from leaving. But this particular day, eventually he was like, get the F out. And basically I got my keys and I went to walk out. When I went to walk out, he pushed me out the door. And I was like, really? Like, you're going to do all of that? And I went, got in my car, and I sat there for a very long time. And I was like, I don't know who to call. And so I never dealt with like anybody from my past in my relationship, but this day it was a guy that I used to talk to prior to him, and we were like really close. It was platonic. Like, we never had sex or nothing like that. Like, we weren't together or anything. We were very close though. And I called him and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, he in a relationship and stuff, he moved on. It was nothing like that. I just kind of said, I don't know what to do. I was like, he just keep putting his hands on me. And I was like, I feel like the only way to get out of this is if I just hurt myself. And it was in that moment, he was like, here, just go to your mom's. Like, go to your mom's. And I was like, I can't. Because the longer, like, I knew, like, if I tell my family, like, the way they are about me or the way they are about the girls in the family or just anybody doing that, like, I didn't know what my family would do, and honestly didn't know what he would do to my family because he used to threaten me and say, you know, call him. So I just was like always kind of scared. Like, I don't want my family to get hurt. And honestly, like, I didn't want him to get hurt. And then too, personally, like, I was so stuck in that cycle of abuse. I had made a decision in my mind that I was ready to leave. Like, I was still stuck on, he has potential, like, he'll be better. And he's going to get it together. He's going to do what he needs to do. As I was sitting in my car, I called his dad. And when I called his dad, I was crying. I said, can you please get your son? I was like, I don't want to call the police because I know he's trying to do this, but I just can't do this no more. And he said, Kiera, just come over here. I used to go to his dad a lot. Well, his dad said to me that day, he was like, he may as well, like, rip up his law enforcement application because he doesn't need to be out there because he's going to wind up hurting somebody or getting somebody hurt. And then he was like, he has never seen me put my hands on no woman. Now, I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of parents say that, and he never said he did put his hands on a woman. He just said that his son had never seen him put his hands on a woman. And he said that he was basically going to get on to him because that's not something that he should do. Well, hours went by. I went to his house. I stayed at his house. My husband was texting me a lot and just asking could he bring me food, and he was sorry and he felt lonely and blah, 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 blah. He told me he would get help, and I'm like, I just want to separate, but he never wanted to separate. And so this particular day, I think is when I realized how bad it was. Because, like, later that day, we wound up, like, being back together some kind of way. And he said, you know what my dad said? I said, what? He said my dad said that he know that I didn't just put my hands on you for no reason. And he asked me what happened. And so I told him. And I was like, oh my God, really? Like, that's what he said? I was like, because what he said to me, you know, seemed more, like, more empathetic, like, more, like, he had more compassion. And my husband was like, yeah, he was like, I'm not gonna lie here. He was like, I didn't say nothing, but he was like, it rubbed me the wrong way. And I was like, it rubbed you the wrong way in what way? And he was like, it rubbed me the wrong way because, like, there's no reason why I should be putting my hands on you. And the fact that, like, he said that, he was like, it just kind of seemed like my dad gonna ride for me no matter what I do. And I think it was in that moment when I realized, like, I don't have nobody. And after that day, like, I never told nobody else, nothing. Because at that point, I thought my father-in-law was like that person. I used to be like, even my grandma and my family now, they be like, you really hyped that man up for years. And they was like, we really thought very highly of him. And I think he really let you down. I could tell it really hurts you. And it really did, like, because I used to be like, even if me and him didn't work out, I would, you know, still be in his dad's life because I really took to him. Like, I really did. And my husband was like, I'm going to get help. So he went that next week and said he was going to get help. But he just kept lying to me. And I would ask him, like, did you start your therapy? He like, nah, I got to do this, I got to do that. And it was always an excuse every single week. And he never went and got the help that he needed. And so it was like a few months later and we went on a trip. I was like, went on a trip for his graduation, and I was trying to make it so special for him and all this stuff. And we got into it and he choked me twice. And when he choked me, all I could think about was, Kiera, if you don't leave, you are not going to be here no more. Because, well, I think, like, when he's in a calm state and when he's not upset, he can say, I would never hit you again. I won't, like, kill you or nothing like that. In that state, though, he doesn't care the amount of force that he's using. Like, he literally would use all his force to hurt me. All that matters is you fucking put your hands on me. You choked me twice, and you know you choked me twice. You know you choked me twice. He said, I promise I'm going to get help. I'm going to stop. He was like, my career is on the line. You know, I don't, like, you're not about to. He had deleted, because I content create. So, like, I had my camera up while this all was going on. And I had it, like, he choking me. And he literally deleted it and said, you're not about to ruin my shit. Like, he literally said that to me. Stop. Give me my phone. Give me my phone. Tell y'all, give me my phone. I'm not playing with you. Give me my phone. Give me my phone. Give me my phone. I'm not playing with you. Give me my phone. You want to go try to delete that shit now? Give me my phone. Give me my phone. Why is you deleting it? Give me my phone. Why is you deleting that shit? Give me my phone. Give me my phone. Give me my phone. Give me my phone. If you don't care, why you deleting all of it?
You're not about to ruin my shit.
It's alright, because it still comes up on my computer. So I'm good.
She just breaks the computer.
And I wanted up, like a few months ago, I found an old phone of his, and it's crazy because he actually recorded it too. And I don't know why, because it was gone out of my phone. So why did you have that in your phone? I was still kind of scared to tell because I knew, like, he gonna lose his job. This gonna affect our livelihood. I also believed that he truly would get the help that he needed because he kept saying that he would, and I believed him over and over and over again. And it took, I think after that though, that's when stuff started going downhill. Like, he wasn't doing well at work. He was really suffering. He would come home and just like kind of, he would like basically steal company time. He was at the house playing a game when he should have been out patrolling and stuff. And I used to be like, you need to go out patrol, because if they find out you here, like, you don't need to make this a habit. I was encouraging him. He wanted to quit, all this stuff. And I just kept like encouraging him, like, keep going, like, keep going. You're not gonna quit. And you know, he was very appreciative of the fact that, like, I didn't let him quit and I encouraged him. And you know, he would always say, like, the reason why I stuck with this is because of you, or the reason why I got through it is because of you. And I don't think so much me. I think that he just needed that support and that encouragement. But he essentially did that himself. But it was, that first year was a struggle for him. He was on the verge of losing his job. He was in the supervisor's office every other day. And I didn't realize it at the time because I was just trying to be of support to him and, you know, like, do what I feel like a wife does. Like, I mean, he didn't really have to do nothing besides go to work and play the game. Like, I literally did everything, and I did it not because he made me do it. I didn't do it because I was forced to do it, nothing like that. I did it because genuinely, like, it's who I am. Like, I like to cook, I like to clean, I like to make sure he has what he needs, and I like to make my person's life easier. But I started realizing, like, my life is not being made easier. And if anything, it was. And I kept wondering, like, why do I feel so depressed? Why can't I sleep? Why do I have so much anxiety? And I'm thinking, like, something's wrong with me. But really, it was just, like, all the stuff that I had on my plate. And I had got this therapist. We was in a car one day, and she called me, and she got on the video chat and said, put him in there too. And she told him, like, we're going to work on some stuff with you. And she started calling out everything about him. Like, she could see straight through him. And when we got the phone, we was like, it's like this woman know you or something like that. He was like, nah, you got to get rid of her. You got to get rid of her. And, you know, I'm thinking this lady just crazy. Let me get rid of her, because she kept talking about my husband all the time, about how he's angered and how she knows he's this and he's that. And I'm like, how does she know this stuff? Because I'm not telling her. I never talk about him in therapy. And so he was like, yeah, she got to go because she talking about me too much. And I felt the same way. So I got rid of her. But now when I look back, like, that lady had a gift. And God sent her to opened my eyes that I needed to get out of there. And so this is late 2022, early 2023. You know, things are like kind of getting better for me. I was doing good with work. He went away, stuff like that. And then I just kept feeling like God was telling me, like, he's not my husband. He's not my husband. And like, we would have sex. I was always crying. We also were on a fertility journey, and I couldn't get my hormones regulated because of the emotional distress that I was in. And I mean, he knew this, but like, he never tried to make it easier on me at all. But he would always be like, I want a kid and blah, 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 blah. But literally, like, I'm so glad I didn't have a kid with him, because I don't know. I can't even imagine what that would look like. But anyway, fast forward, more stuff transpired, and I got fed up, and I told my parents. Telling my parents was probably the most shameful and painful things that I did, because I feel like, despite like my childhood, I wanted to be different, and I wanted to break generational curses, and essentially I wanted them to be proud. And I know that they are, and I know that even speaking out about it, and my mama said, if anybody could tell you anything, it probably would be your dad. Telling my daddy was like the icing on the cake. It was when I realized this shit is bad. I didn't want to do what I needed to do to protect myself, because I cared. Like, I cared. And I always let that get in the way. But I had to realize, if a person would do this to somebody that they love, or that they claim that they love, what would they do to a stranger out there in the streets that he's pulling over? What would he do to the next woman? What would he do to even himself? Like, what would he do to me? Like, I don't know. Like, how far will it go? Because it got worse and worse. And I had to do one of the hardest things that I ever had to do. And I know it's sad to say, but I had to put myself first. And the fact that I hadn't put her first the entire 5 years that I was with this person broke me down, because I was willing to get hurt and protect somebody else and their image versus protecting myself. And every day I'm just thankful for my family and some of his family. It wasn't an easy decision to make, but I believe it was a necessary decision. And something that somebody told me was that if you don't stop it now, even if he's not with you, it's not going to stop. Someone has to put a stop to this. He needs a roadblock. And I had to make a decision for myself and my own protection and for other people. And essentially for his protection, because in return, it probably protected him. Y'all, this is why I didn't want to make these videos, because I just, like, I'm not, even this is something that is not even the full story or like everything that transpired. But I know I'm led to tell my story. This is my testimony, and I pray that if you are in a situation, y'all get out. There are resources, there's help, get a support group, and leave. It takes, on average, a woman 7 times to leave. But leave. It's not worth it. And if he will hit you, he will unalive you. He will. It's only a matter of time. Because nobody should be that furious or that outraged to put their hands on you, ever. And I don't care what it is. And that's what I had to get through my head. Law enforcement told me that. My therapist told me that. My family told me that. My friends told me that. And it took a while for that to get through my head. And I don't want that for nobody else. I don't even want that for the abusers. Like, I want them to be better, because you shouldn't be like that. You know, like, you are worth more and you deserve more.